Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live show. Coming in a little bit late here. Dude, how many shows in a row has that been where we were completely on time? So I get one of these late fees here, but I appreciate y'all joining. We got so many games, man. That's why I was a couple minutes late. I wanted to make sure we got the slides in here so I could show you which games we're talking about while we're talking about them, so you're not confused about that stuff. But go ahead and give that video a like as you guys jump in. We are going to be going through how we did last night. We've got a couple bets on the card already that we're going to have scrolling on the bottom line for you guys. So make sure you are checking out the scroll there to see all the plays that we already got up. We had a really, really nice day yesterday, man. And a lot of those we just found in the show itself. I got to be honest. The video last night that came out had the incorrect bets. Ant and Kamara were the only bets I had late last night, or 2 nights, whatever. You get what I'm saying? The night before yesterday. And then yesterday we came in on the show. I gave Al Horford out a little bit late to the VIP. I couldn't get that one on the show. I wasn't sure about it, but McDaniels we smashed, SGA we smashed, Cam Thomas we smashed, Gary Trent. What a hit Gary Trent was. My man was 0 for 3. Looked like he would rather have been anywhere than playing basketball last night. And then all of a sudden I went for a walk for the dog came back and dude had 2 threes. So I'm not mad at him. He only had the 2 for 7, but that's what happens. Dame got the over on the dimes. He made us sweat that one out, but we picked that one up on the show as well. Steph came after the show. I needed to see what was going on with that one, but 21.5 was easy money. So I love that. And then Reaves over 12.5 rebounds and assists plus 104. We'll talk about Reaves again. I know you guys are going to want to look at him. What's up, AP? Yeah. Everybody got to just tell mom and the wife and the husband and whatever that we got stuff going on right now. We got money to make. The Ant bet was the one that came out the night before. Goddamn you, Ant. But the Celtics did a great job. Honestly, we got to keep that in mind with the Celtics, that like Joe Maz is a great defensive coach, and his ability to shut down Ant by having a big on Ant and then follow that up. Like Neemias Queta was guarding Ant, and then you had a guard or a wing that was basically just right on the foul line, waiting for him to come inside the 3-point line as well. So, you know, couldn't really predict that they were going to change up the defense. Maybe we'll take that into consideration. Tumani, you might think it was a bad play after all because of his rebounds, but I'll point a couple things out. One, he had 2 rebounds taken away from him, which was pointed out to me in the VIP chat. I saw him with 5. He ended with 4, but he had 2 total taken away from him. So there's your 6, and our boy goes under. What do you want us to do? Well, I don't know. Write a letter to the statisticians, but either way, he did not go over. We'll take a look at it. I'm still not scared of him. I want to see how many potential chances or rebound chances he had. And then Kuminga is just that dude, man. He's just that dude that is sometimes big for no reason. And it's hard to project when the hell this man is going to bring it on the boards because rebounds are hustle. So thought it was a good look against Philly. I'm not mad at it, but Wiggs was the dude last night. It was Aaron Wiggins that took those rebounds from him, and that's kind of how we found ourselves in that situation. So all good. We still are up. This is incorrect, actually. We are up 49.6 units on the season. So it's a lot better than it looks right there, actually. 44.9 was before we won 4.7 yesterday. So if you do want to jump into the VIP, no discount right now, but we do have still the same quality deal if you want to jump in for a free month. I had a bunch of people jump in yesterday after they saw some of the picks that we had and get this free month. So go ahead and sign up for any of the books that you see in the description of the video. That'll get you a free month in the VIP once you screenshot proof of that and send it my way. So at JL Boogie on Twitter and Discord. And that will get you, like I said, a free month in the VIP. Just send me a screenshot showing me proof that you signed up using code LYB. We got Underdog, BETR, BetMGM, etc. So those should all be working for y'all. I know we got a lot of stuff in the comments, and you know I'm going to be sharing my screen and going through Props Madness. I'm going to talk about the bets that I already have in, and then we're going to get into what you guys have here in the comments. So let me bring up some of the stuff I'm already looking at so we can get these bets in and then look at some more stuff here for the rest of today. All right, so I'm going to pull up. Where do I want to start, man? I at least got to start where I have plays already. So let me pull up this Chicago and Detroit and get that going with you right now. So we're going to Charlotte. Did I say Chicago? I meant Charlotte. Charlotte and Detroit. And I'm not going to we have so much to look at today. There's so many games that I'm really not going to be spending too much time on some of these doo-doo. I repeat, doo-doo games that we have in here. All right. So just keep that in mind. The bet I have here is going to be Malik Beasley. So I'm going to talk about Malik. Let me get back to the top here. On Detroit, this is not available at 14.5. We got this nice and early. That was crazy broken. It's 16.5. And I said I would take this up to 15.5. And let's see if you have anything. I mean, if you have Bet Rivers 15.5 at -124, I'm okay with. -125, I'm okay with. I think if you can still get 15.5 for Malik, then you got to take Beasley on the points here. And I'll show you what I'm looking at. But thank you for bringing that banner up. We got David producing, by the way. So, I mean, I know you're all on your phone or at your laptops, but just a little quick show of love for David because he's getting all these comments for you guys to see what we y'all want to look at. And I don't have too much on the card for a massive slate, so we're going to look at plenty. Malik Beasley, I mean, let's just start right here. If we look at him on the season when he plays without Jaden Ivey, there's 3 games. In those 3 games, dude went off, played the Jazz, the Bucks, the Heat. I would argue all better. I don't know, not better, but not worse than Charlotte's defense. I'll tell you that. Charlotte, surprisingly, is 18th in defensive rating. I thought they'd be like 27. So they're doing a little better than expectations, but still not good. So I'm not worried about that matchup. If we bring up some of the stuff here on Fantasy Labs, which I'm always showing you guys as well, you can see what's really interesting to me is when he plays with Cade off the floor. And there are going to be minutes because I don't think Malik Beasley is going to start tonight. I think Malik Beasley is going to still come off the bench and be that scorer. So if you look at him on off court and you take Jaden Ivey and Simone Fontecchio is also not playing, just take those dudes off court and put him on court. Even if he's out there with Cade Cunningham, he's looking at about 18 points per 36 minutes. So already I'm thinking he's good for about 18 at least in this one. If you take Cade Cunningham and put him off court, and that's why I brought up that Cade, that I think Malik is still not going to start because he's going to be getting a lot of minutes without Cade this game, as many as you can with how much Cade plays. But if you take Cade, put him off the court, Malik Beasley has played 29 minutes this season without Cade or Jaden Ivey, and he's at 34 points per 36. So really, really dynamic scorer here. I mean, we've been following along with him all season as he's a legit 6th man of the year candidate, and he'll probably continue to be so. So that's one that's scrolling on the bottom line for there. We don't know if LaMelo's playing. We don't know if Brandon Miller is playing. So there's too much unknown for the Charlotte Hornets here for me, and Cody Martin, by the way. We don't know if any 3 of those dudes are playing. So there's just not enough for me to want to make a bet anywhere else, to be honest. And that includes even guys like Jalen Duren or Mark Williams. I know some of y'all are probably going to want to look at that, but I'm not going to keep spending too much time on this game. I just want to get to another bet that I have before we move on. I did take CJ. And hopefully some of y'all who are in the VIP that were asking me about CJ McCollum and why I bet this, hopefully you're in here because I didn't have time to type it all out for you with a write-up. So I apologize about that. But the 21.5 is a couple of things. It's gone. Let's start there. I did say in the video last night that I would likely take CJ up to 22.5. Part of the reason being he's at about 23, 24 points per 36 minutes when he's playing this season without Brandon Ingram and without Zion Williamson. Wow, I haven't seen Zion in so long. I didn't even remember dude's name. Zion Williamson, who's still just no one knows where he is. He could be on an island that we've never heard of. No one knows where he is. So no one knows what he's doing. I mean, he's not out missing. You get what I'm saying, though. The basketball world. Anyway, so for CJ, 23 per 36. I do think DeJounte Murray, I saw him become a popular bet. He was opened at 18.5 and moved up to 20.5. But when I'm looking at CJ, I mean, it's really simple. It's up top. It's not needing anybody else to help him score. The Wizards are not going to really help off of their guys. They're 10th limiting spot up shots. That's probably the only thing we can say about this team positively on defense right now is that they're not going to give up stuff to the spot up shooter. So they're going to try to go one-on-one on defense with the guys that they have. And that means that we got CJ McCollum probably going up against Bub Carrington. And no offense to Bub Carrington, by the way. Good defender. Honestly, really good defender for a rookie, especially. Maybe he'll get some Malcolm Brogdon. But then there's also going to be those minutes with Jordan Poole out there, Corey Kispert, as well as Keyshawn George. And all those minutes are going to be wonderful for CJ because he's going to be able to find whatever he wants with the switch, right? He's going to get those dudes and switch them into the blender, and then he's going to get those points up top. So I like the way that he's playing. It's the shot attempts too. The 16 right here, 25, 22. One bad game against the Rockets there. They lost by 17, so we only played 27. But then the 39 minutes right here with 21 shots. So if you predict this man at about 36 minutes, which I do, I don't think New Orleans is going to wipe the floor with Washington. So, I mean, if you want to know who the worst team in the league is right now, New Orleans is dead last in the standings. So do with that what you will, right? So that's why I think this is going to be a little bit closer. It's not going to be a blowout. CJ is going to be out there in the 36 minutes. Per 36 here, we're looking at least 23. I'd put him at 24 with the matchup. So I like CJMC as well. I got one more, but quick reminder, go ahead and give that video a like if you would. And I forgot to let y'all know too, if you're not familiar with Props Madness, this is the GOAT product. We know that this is what I'm using all day, every day for NBA and WNBA when we get to the ladies later this summer. But yeah, for for Props Madness, if you want to use code LYB, that'll get you 25% off on your first month of Props Madness. And the key here is going to be the filters that you have at your disposal. And hopefully you see me use a bunch more of these so you can filter this to recreate the game that you're going to see tonight and see how CJ's done in games that are going to be a lot like the one that you see tonight, right? Then you've got the shot chart down here and play type analysis. This is where I'm finding out that the Wizards limit points to spot up shooters 10th best in the league, right? So they're sticking to the shooters. They're not leaving them to help on the drives from guys like CJ McCollum, who's either going to drive and get all the way to the rim, or he's going to be able to pull up in the mid-range and in the little floater game right here in the extended paint. So I like his abilities in this one. DJ Murray, DeJounte, who I'm also calling DJ Murray, is probably going to be able to get his two against the Wizards, but probably means that there's going to be some scoring coming from the other side if you don't think this is going to be a blowout. I thought Kuzma was interesting, but I'm not even going to get into it. It's just that he has not been playing minutes, but at some point he's going to start playing minutes. And in the last game against Chicago, he started the second half. So keep that in mind. He started the second half when he didn't start the game and hasn't been getting minutes, but this might be the game that he comes back and gets some more time and might hit the threes. That's where I'd start, just with the straight up plus 140. If he takes like 4 of them, hits 2, plus 140 is a pretty good number for that for Kyle Kuz. But that's where we're at with that one. And then I will go over the last bet that I have here, but I kind of want to see where you guys are at too. Actually, I don't really want to see where you're at with these games, to be honest, because these games are nasty. But did you want to throw that one back up, David? Or yeah, cool.
Yeah, that look was interesting.
Cool. Do you want to read? Will you read that out for us?
So Malik Beasley over 15.5 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. over 12.5. And he was looking at Jared Allen double.
Okay, so we got some other stuff too when we get to the Mavs and the Cavs game. Yeah, I mean, THJ and Osar Thompson and Ron Holland are going to be the guys that get a bunch more minutes now that we've got Jaden Ivey out. And there's like 30 of them to go around. So, yeah, I think I want to wait and see on guys like Osar and guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm not the biggest Tim Hardaway Jr. fan, to be honest. But at any rate, I guess he's a good shooter for what it's worth. He was with the Knicks during some ugly days, and it was nasty out there. Anyway, I think the other stuff, obviously I like Beasley. I'll get to Jay Allen in just a minute. And I think that was a double look or a PR look, but we'll get to it. I'll come back to you on it and ask for it. All right. So the other pick I had here was Christian Braun. And I actually want to bring up a couple of things about him. So I already have the filters up here because I was looking at it earlier. Another nice thing about Props Madness, when you put filters up here for a dude, it's going to stay up there until you take it down. So I was looking at Christian Braun like an hour ago and put this bet in like 45 minutes ago. And the filters that I was using are still up, which is kind of tight because it's really annoying to have to keep putting all these up. But what I have this filtered with, which you'll find on other sites, is games with and without certain players, right? This is just a starting point for me, and I'm going to show you a couple other things. But for Christian Braun on the points, I just wanted the points, first of all. Look at the difference, 2 more points per game in the 10 games that he's played without Aaron Gordon. And that includes with Murray, with Jokic, with Porter, right? So there's no like weirdness where it's like, well, Gordon and Jokic were out, so of course Christian Braun had a ton of points. No, I want to recreate the situation that I'm going to see tonight, which is that he's playing with Murray, with Porter Jr., and without Aaron Gordon, right? And with Joker, obviously. So when in those 10 games, you can see he's at 16 a game, 90% hit rate out of the 10 games he's played. And this number is just wrong to me. And we've been getting this 12.5 consistently. Another little nugget in the right direction. Pinnacle, sharp book. We've talked about that. What's a sharp book versus not a sharp book? Well, Pinnacle will take sharp money, meaning if they deem you to be sharp or a whale or whatever you want to call these people that are betting a lot of money and are good at what they do professionally, well, Pinnacle will take all of their action. DraftKings won't. FanDuel won't, because Pinnacle is projecting their own numbers. They are literally projecting Christian Braun themselves with their own math at 12.5 points. And they're saying that it's minus 132 to the over, which means they think there's a good chance that he's going over, something like a 56%, 57% chance that he's going over this number tonight at minus 132. So I love the fact that you get minus 132 on Pinnacle, but all these other copycat books, you're getting a better number. That's a starting point for me, that Pinnacle is a helpful sort of arrow in the right direction. Then if we go over to NBA Advanced Stats, NBA on off court, this is also linked in the description of the video. So every tool that you see me using, you're going to have access to if you check out the description of the video, just for the record there. But if we look at the Nuggets here, I'm going to pull up, and I'm just going to use the starting lineup that we've been seeing a ton of without Aaron Gordon, because they just put Russ in there. And when you put Russ in the starting lineup for Aaron Gordon, that gives Christian Braun a bit of a bump as a scorer. because Aaron Gordon is getting a lot more touches as a scorer, and Russ is looking to pass, to be honest. So Russ's assists are kind of taken away from any of the dimes that Christian Brown was getting. I'll say that. But if you look at this starting lineup here, per 36 minutes this season, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting MPJ. Let me put Michael Porter in here. Also, Michael Porter played like every game this season. Remember when he was supposed to have back issues? Don't know what's going on there. But we've been talking a lot of trash on him sometimes. I think he gets a bad rap sometimes. But 20 points per 36 minutes, right? This says 19.97 points per 36 minutes that Christian Brown plays with this starting lineup. And this lineup plays like 18 minutes a game together, right? The only subs that you see kind of come in for like Russ and a couple of the guys. We get a few minutes from Julian Strawther. We get Peyton Watson. But it's a pretty tight rotation when you don't have Aaron Gordon out there. And this one, I think, is going to be close. This Spurs game, I do not think is going to be a blowout for the Nuggets. I took the Spurs plus 7.5. I just kind of stopped giving out sides because I'm not nearly as good at them as I am at player props. But do with that what you will. I had a good question from Free Sauce, one of the VIP cappers who's in the Discord. He's probably also floating around here in the chat. So definitely make sure you're checking out the plays that he's throwing in there, by the way, if I'm not able to get to him. But he was asking about the assists and adding those for Christian Brown. And my thing with adding the assist to Christian Brown is that it just doesn't do it very much, right? And so he's at 3.6 per 36 with this lineup, which is fine. But you kind of see when I put him in with these dudes, the points he's over hella. He's got 2 more points per 30 per game when he's playing without Ego. But then if you look at the assists, a lot less of a hit rate. It's at 2.2. And this is the other thing I'd keep in mind when you're trying to decide if you should make a combo prop. Should I do points and assists? Should I just do points? Should I just do points and whatever, right? Like when you're looking at that, you got to break down these props individually. You can't just be looking at the total hit rate of a points and assists combined or points and rebounds combined. It needs to be each dissected individually, the same way that you do with a parlay. If you're taking something from a parlay and just being like, well, I don't like Jokic 28 points, but I like him to get 25, so I'll just dumb it down to 25. Don't do that. If you don't like the 28.5, don't add it to the parlay and don't dumb it down. I know plenty of people are not going to listen to me and tell me it's old man yelling at cloud, and that's fine because I'm also not even saying don't parlay. Parlaying is a whole nother probably live show that we need to have on its own because once again, I'm not saying parlay, don't parlay ever, but I am saying unless you are somewhat of an expert bettor, do not parlay. Parlaying is it's the like not even algebra, what calculus, right? Whatever. I stopped at algebra. I give a fuck about math, but you get my point. It's like, it's the advanced course is the parlay. So just keep that in mind, but let me get out my high horse about that. There's no reason for me to add the 2.5 assists. This implied probability right here of plus 110 from DK and even money says it's just basically a 50-50 chance. So if I don't like the assists by themselves alone and I wouldn't play it, there's no reason to add it to the points. If I like them both, and I think there's an edge to both, putting them together might just make my edge even bigger, depending on the situation. But that's when I try to use combo props, is not just because sometimes he's doing points and assists together really well. It's also just like, well, which one do I like and which one do I not like? And I don't really like the assists by themselves, so I'm not adding them. So that's just one sort of thought process there. But that's the 3 that I have on the card right now. Still looking for some more, obviously, as we roll through the show. So we're going to get into plenty here and look at some of this stuff. Also, I hit Derrick Henry over 89.5 yards rushing. I gave that out. I know that seems like pretty fishy and silly, but I have my reasoning, and I think he's going to be able to get there. I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout for the Ravens as it might seem. They might cover 21.5 points or 20, 19.5, whatever, but I don't know if this is going to get that high. So I do like Derrick Henry to still be out there. In fact, the Browns defense has actually gotten a little bit better, but J-Man gives a fuck about math. That's fair. You should give a fuck about math when we're talking about sports betting. That's for damn sure. All right. So quick reminder as we go through what you guys are looking at next, give that video a like if you would. It goes a long way. Definitely try to subscribe to the channel if you're not, and put those notifications on because we're going live pretty much all the time. But David, I'm not going to ask you right now, but if you can't make it, it's all good. But I think I'm going to try to go live tomorrow. I just realized I'm totally putting you on the spot on the live show. But I'd like to go live tomorrow if you're around.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming we were doing. Seems like a regular thing now.
Love it. All right. Perfect. Yeah,
there were a couple people who wanted to know about thoughts about Wemby in this game. Like, what are your what are your thoughts?
Wembanyama. I wish I had gotten Joker at 28.5 points is my first thought about Wemby. I think Joker, I know that Joker loves to just sort of take really good defenders against centers and be like, let me go ahead and take you to school here, right? Let me teach you a little something. So he does it to Gobert. fellow French, tall, lanky dude. I don't know if there's anything relevant there, but yeah, that's my first thought. Let me get into it. And since there's so many other people in here right now than there were last time, just a reminder, if you do want to jump in the VIP, you can get a free month in addition to just whatever. But if you want the free month to get in there and check it out, if you like it for free, go ahead and sign up for one of the books that are in the description of the video. Because we got Underdog here, we got BetMGM, we got BETR, Sleeper, and a bunch more in there. Sign up using code LYB, get all your free money and bonus bets, screenshot it and send it my way. And just show me proof that you signed up using code LYB, and I'll go ahead and get you that free month with a code into the VIP so you can check out all the plays. We are up. I'm so mad that this is wrong, but it's 49.6 units on the season that we are up now on the show. So hopefully you guys keep coming back. But the VIP is where you don't miss any of these bets. I try to get as many out as I can the night before, but we do what we do. So, all right, let's keep looking at some stuff here. I guess first look was Wemby. So let me bring back up the Nuggets stuff on Props Madness. Where you at, Denver? No, I got Denver. Do I not have Denver in here? Looks like Denver didn't come through. Oh, good. Oh, it did. All right, Denver. So we've got Denver and SAS, and we're talking about Wemby real quick. Let's see. Wembanyama is real high now. The points, like I said, would be where I'd be going for Joker. This is going to be tough. I do think he's going to be just fine. I mean, he's kind of a giant killer, too, when he's going up against teams that he really wants to do well against. But this 26.5 is getting a little bit out of control. He's at 25.5 on the season. This is minus 115 on DraftKings. Pinnacle seems to think he's going to do it just fine. But I just don't really know how to break this one down. Even if we look at the last, like Wemby's a tough player for me to break down right now. I got to look at the volume, I suppose. We could start there. He's at 29.6 in the last 18 games, and we kind of take away some of the rough start to the season, right? So in the first roughly 8 games, rough start for Wemby. Now we're up in the last 18, looked a lot better, obviously. It was the first 11 games that he was struggling. Now his minutes in the last 18 are all going to be about 34, and he's going to be right around this. I don't know that we're going to have much of an edge just because he's been doing better in this particular last 8 games, or 18 games rather, like I said. This has just gotten a little bit high for me. I think there's probably better value on other bets, to be honest. If we look at how the Nuggets limit stuff to centers, not that great, right? I think they're actually pretty bad at limiting. I know rebounds. I think they're actually better than we think at limiting points to centers. But if I pull up the points here on the season against centers, yeah, they're still going to be in the top like half of the league, top 15-ish. The rebounds are what's interesting because Jokic is getting a bajillion rebounds a game, and yet they're giving up the 6th most rebounds to centers. So, oh, right. Yeah, my bad. Sean, great call. Derrick Henry. I'm not going to take the anytime touchdown by itself, but David pointed out, sorry, David, should be giving you credit here. David pointed it out to me that if you add the tutty to the Derrick Henry rushing, you can get a nice like plus 120 on FanDuel to go 90 plus with the touchdown, right? That's what you were looking at, David?
Yeah, and I forget if it was the contract incentive or what he's pointing out, the record that he's breaking, but there's something in it for him. I forget.
Well, the touchdown is the incentive, the bonus, the contract incentive. The
Let me look it up real quick.
Can he get to 2,000? Right? Because
if
he gets 213 rushing yards, he gets 2,000. But I'm not predicting that he's going to get 213, but I am saying that it's sort of a carrot on a stick, and he's just going to chase it and probably not get it. But they're going to leave him out there to get a good amount of yardage. The other thing is if this game is close in the second half, then he's going to be in there. If this game is not close in the second half, I'm assuming it's because he has 100 yards rushing essentially, right? So, and he's just sort of taking them to town. But 500K if he gets a tutty, that's pocket change, bro. But yeah, I guess he could use it. As Giannis put it, that's a nice down payment on a house. The fuck house are you buying where the down payment is 500K, Giannis? Lost touch with reality. So anyway, the boards for Wemby, I guess we could look at there. Just a quick look at the head-to-head and how he's done there last year anyway. And this is not apples to apples. He did get a bunch of boards when he played 30-plus minutes, which he did in 3 of the 4. Lost by 11, 15 rebound chances, 22 and 19 rebound chances. That's kind of where I was leaning. It's just, once again, these are all just way above his averages and things that he's done earlier in the season. So it scares me off it a little bit when it's not necessarily the norm of what he's been doing on the season, especially he's at like 10 boards and we're asking him to get 2 more than his average. Not something he's done here. So I like the rebounds more because of the matchup, but I don't like either because of the number where they're at. So I'm probably good on that. But anything else that was interesting from this game that might be worth a look? I think Devin Vassell was someone that was brought up a good amount.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Right. All right. Let me look at Devin Vassell. All right, cool. That's fair. But question for you, JJT. Henry didn't give a shit about the Pro Bowl. First of all, nobody gives a shit about the Pro Bowl. Let's talk about that. I'm wondering, 500K, man, like if he makes 20 million a year, which whatever, I don't know exactly, but let's say he makes 20 million a year. I don't know, bro. Like think about it. 500K is 1/40th of his salary in a season, right? 1/40th of somebody's salary making 100K is 40 grand. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not. Is it 4 grand? Yeah, no, it's way less than that. My bad. I did that math wrong. It's not 40 grand. It's way less, but it's still thousands of dollars that you would care about if you make 100K in a year. That's all I'm saying. So maybe 500K, but I want to know, JJT too. I would love to know what you think about, does he care about the 2,000? Do you think he wants the 2,000 to get the 2K yards this year? That'd be interesting. Love to hear your take on that. But all right, I'm gonna move past Wemby. Let me see about Devin. And we know Sohan is out. That's the key here that I can actually start to work with for the Spurs, is that Sohan is not playing in the this game. So let me use my my little thing here on NBA Fantasy Labs. Yeah, exactly. I would say that they care about it. And like 500K, somebody he's going to care about. Pro Bowl is Pro Bowl. I'm sure you make some money for making the Pro Bowl, but yeah, he ain't going to try to play in it. It's just when it comes to the money, like money is money, bro. 500K is money. Like, all right, so let me take Sohan off court for a minute and see what that does for some folks. So I believe Devin Vassell is back in that starting lineup. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, great question. Let me get to that in just one sec. David, if you don't mind reminding me that that question came up about the parlays, I'm down to at least touch on it for one sec so we can get that out there.
Yeah, you got it.
But yeah, I would say just quickly, what's surprising to you is that if you're playing a parlay on like Prize Picks, for instance, because that's all you can use is like DFS, the 6-leg and the 2-leg. That's really it. Just play the 6-leg and the 2-leg. And I can explain that. It's just math at that point, honestly. It's the fact that you get the like 20x for the 6-leg. That number is going to be better in the long run. It's over time, but we can talk about that in a little bit. Let's see. We got Devin Vassell. I would imagine, I mean, we still have HB starting, and then he's been splitting time with Champagny. So I think we're going to probably see Champagny, but we'll see. Let me put him in here with Chris Paul and Wembanyama. All right. So we got Vassell on court with HB, Champagny, and Vic Wembanyama. In fact, let me take out Champagny and just see if when he's played with these 3 other guys. Not too much of a sample size here, but what we see is not good for Devin Vassell, obviously. And it's only 17 minutes of floor action, so it doesn't really help us. You see Stephon Castle has 37 points per 36 minutes, but it's because it's with a specific lineup, not a big sample size, and these dudes have not played together enough to really be able to use this. So let me actually just take out HB, because I also don't think he fucking matters. I think it's Vassell, Paul, and Wemby that are going to have the ball in their hands the most this game. Maybe we see Stephon Castle come in without, but this is the problem. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to put in the starting lineup. I don't know who they're going to sub in, so that's actually bothering me now. But Devin Vassell still only at 13 points in this situation. Wemby at about 25 per 36. It's Stephon Castle that takes a massive jump. But I just don't know if the minutes are going to be there. He has not had the minutes as of late for Stephon Castle. So this makes me a bit nervous. I can at least go over to HB for a minute and just see, all right, what does Harrison Barnes do as a sort of other power forward when he's played without Sohan this season? He's at about 12 points per game without Sohan. So that's a starting point. He's such a fucking bad rebounder. Yeah, see, now his rebounds go way up. 5.5 on the season when he's played without Sohan. All these numbers just go up for HB. The problem is the minutes. So as of late, he's been at 25. I think he got 34 there. Yeah, because he went off against Minnesota, right? 35, 22, 17, 20, 22. And this is without dudes missing, right? Who was missing? Yeah, not really many people missing in these two. But now with Sohan out, this does make me lean towards Harrison Barnes. Would everybody hate me entirely if I bet on Harrison Barnes is the question. I feel like I would bring this to the chat and everybody would just cuss me out immediately if I suggested that we bet over on Harrison Barnes. That's kind of where I'm starting with my motivation. So I don't know if I really want to do that, but that's kind of where I'm looking here as the dude who does the most when you don't have Jeremy Sohan out there. So let me do this one more time. Let me do without Sohan. We make sure we got Vassell and Wemby out there and go from there. So 6 games still over on the boards in those 6 games. On the points here, 9.5. It's a pretty good rebounding team. But man, I'm starting to like this a little bit. PR, yeah, it's still a little bit of an edge, but not too much. What do the advanced stats say for HB? Let's see. HB with those 3 on the floor with him has 0 points per 36. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can bet on Harrison Barnes. We can move past that. All right, I'm just going to see if there's anything else I want to touch on before I don't know who's going to get the minutes for San Antonio, so I can't really bet on that. He's out. Yeah, good. I figured that was going to be the case. Let's go over to that Toronto game. Let's go to Toronto real quick, and then we'll get to some of the later games because there's some good stuff here. Cavs, Mavs, but also remember we need the injury report for like Knicks. We got Brunson on there. For the Mavs, we have PJ Washington on there. For the Kings, I'll take a look at it again about the Kings, but then the Lakers, I think we got JJ out. So we got to look at the injury report again real quick. I'm going to pull that up just because I've forgotten. It's too important to know what we're waiting on. So you guys also know what are we waiting on to get some stuff. But while I'm looking at that too, quick reminder, give that video a like if you would. And if you don't yet have a sports book account with any of the ones that are scrolling right underneath me right there, you can go ahead and sign up for one of those. Prove that you use code LYB. And that'll get you a free month in the VIP. If you just sign up for a book you don't have yet, get all the free money using code LYB. Send that my way, screenshot it, and send it to JL Boogie on Twitter and Discord. And we'll get you a free month in the Discord or in the VIP section of the Discord up about 40. I'm calling it 50, man. We're about to cross the 50 unit mark. So we're feeling good about that. We're try to get there this tonight. But let's get to what was the one I was just saying that we were going to look at first is Orlando, Toronto before we move on, right? Because we also know that RJ is officially out. So for Orlando, we know Anthony Black is out now. That's important somewhat. RJ is out, and then we're good there. The other ones that we're waiting on, so we got Jalen Brunson right here. We need to know about him. Everybody probably good here for the Thunder, and then going down to Cavs. We just need to know about Maxey and PJ, and then we need to know about. I'm just going to go back down to these games so I don't forget, and then have to come back. A lot of people out from Memphis, Kings. Murray's probably not going to play. Then we've got Bogey questionable. Jalen Johnson, definitely. So Jalen Johnson's going to be huge. Trey's even questionable right now. So we got to know about those dudes for that game. But keep me posted if you guys see anything about Trey, anything about Jalen Johnson as well. Those are going to be like probably the 2 most important names. And then obviously Jalen Brunson. So keep me posted about those if you would. All right, let's get to Toronto and Orlando because we have that sort of final injury report at this point for this kind of nasty boy game, I would say. And the problem with this one is, once again, I don't have much data with these lineups. That's what sucks, is that I don't know how these dudes are going to play together. Let's at least try real quick. Let's take Toronto and see what kind of minutes these dudes have at least played together to see how they're going to look together. I'm going on court. Come on now. All right, off court, we're going to go. Oh, right, because Bruce Brown's ass is back too. God damn it. Someone was talking about Dick for 2 assists, right? I believe I saw that as a look. What are the great Dick looks here in this one, David? Do you have those?
So it's interestingly enough, they're looking at Dick assists, Goga assists, and obviously people want to know about Goga rebounds too.
Dick assists is amazing. I mean, it's just your wingman is your Dick assist, right? All right, so we're going. All right, so sorry, what was the look for Dick? I got distracted by Dick.
Sorry, so many puns. And Pirtle too. Some folks are asking about PR as well.
There's like a Pirtle joke in there. We'll get to it later. Okay, so Pirtle against Goga. So we want some Goga Pirtle love is what I hear you saying.
That's actually how I played it today because I wasn't sure what to do.
Oh my God, the possibilities of this are endless. We have 2 giant Slavics who are just going to bang it out down there. Is that can I say that on screen? Can I say Slavics? This feels kind of derogatory. Anyway, they are both from the Slavic region. I'll say that sounds less racy. Let's see. RJ's off court. Let's put obviously we got to put Dick on court. Distracted by Dick, another great title. Yeah, we got some bangers, some Dick bangers here. Pirtle and then Scotty. Fuck up Ochai. Honestly, I don't even really want to put Dick out there. I just kind of want to see Quickly, Pirtle, and Barnes. Nah, fuck it. We'll put Dick out there.
We had enough look for Quickly too.
Yeah, I bet. Who beat up on the Nets last game, right? The Nets on the back-to-back. That's who they just played with IQ's first game back. You're not going to hear me say anything bad about IQ as a Knicks fan too. 11 dimes in that game. And then Scotty was going off. So yeah, this is only 2 games. And it was one much earlier in the year, and then this one. And Scotty is definitely scoring a lot with IQ out there. IQ's diming and he's scoring, to be honest. I know somebody that was on the under now because we're also talking about them going. That's right, we're on dick picks right now for sure. Them going up against Orlando also does make me nervous. Now, Anthony Black is an incredible defender, especially for what is he, second year? So there's something to consider there that he's out, and that makes things easier. Without RJ Barrett, 28 per 36. I mean, let's see. Let me take Dick off for a minute. Yeah, it's the same shit. Dick doesn't matter. 30 per 36 for IQ, 29 points per 36 for Scotty. Like, should I be scared of them going off against this team? Honestly, let me see something real quick. Let's look at some play type stuff real quick. They're very good in transition. Obviously, pick and roll ball handler, not as good. Yeah, it's the spot up that they take away. And IQ is going to have the ball in his hands. Let me at least do this real quick. This is going to be helpful too. I'm going to go to, because RJ missed last game. So I'm going to go to players on NBA Advanced Stats. I'm going to go to tracking data and look at touches real quick and see how few times I can say touches while getting through this. Because once we start talking about Dick and touches, this show's going to just be more off the rails than it is. I can't afford that. So let's go to Toronto. Let's do last game because that was the first one back with IQ. What's your Dick IQ? Let's see. Touches in general. Yeah, so Scotty actually kind of looked like the point guard. That is the same shit. See, these motherfuckers do the same shit. 78 touches for Scotty, 67 for IQ, but IQ plays 6 fewer minutes. So it's like the same. Per minute, it's like the same, right? And then IQ actually had the ball in his hands longer. So, he's bringing the ball up, and then Scotty's playing off ball at that point, but then getting the ball in his hands. Because we got average touch per seconds per touch. That helps us understand too. I mean, it's IQ at 5.5. So he's kind of bringing the ball up. He's got more dribbles and all that. Yeah, average dribbles per touch is twice as many as Scotty too. So all that means is he's bringing the ball up. Which means, they're both doing the same thing, man. Honestly, I don't have a problem with the over for both of them. That's what the numbers are telling me for both of them. Dick is more of a pull-up guy, right? I don't know if he will. That's the problem. Like, is he going to go hard in the paint or not? That's the real question. We don't know how hard Dick is going to go tonight. So that's what we have to consider better for Scotty and IQ is just like, they're both going to be coming off the dribble. You score off the dribble one-on-one versus this team. I'm sure they both have pretty good numbers head to head. This isn't going to help at all because IQ wasn't even on this damn team last year. Yeah, there's not much here that helps me. It's feeling like a stay away. Let me get to the later games. I might have something a little bit later for this one, but I got to look at the later games. Let me start in this Hawks-Lakers game because we've got Austin Reaves. We got to at least talk about Austin Reaves. And also, please just go ahead and feel free to flood the comments with your Austin Reaves as a white guy joke in some way, right? Like, let's get the better. We've gotten like the lunch pail guy and the gym rat. We've gotten those out of the way. But if you have something that's pretty unique, I'm sure David's seen all of them. So if he sees something kind of clever, I'm assuming he'll let you know that he liked it too. All right, for Reaves, so let's see. We've had 4 games now without D'Lo, and we've had AD out for one of them, LeBron out for one of them. So these stats are a bit skewed, is what I'm saying. I think the best way to unskew them is once again to just go back here and see what this looks like without D'Lo on the floor. Because there's plenty of time this season where D'Lo just hasn't been on the floor. Now, granted, Dorian Finney-Smith wasn't around. Gabe Vincent's out tonight too. But let's at least see if we put D'Lo off court or even just use current roster. That's helpful. So now we don't even need to take D'Lo off court. But what I do need is to make sure that no one else is missing that I need to care about for LA right now, just to make sure I wasn't forgetting somebody that might not be playing tonight. JV's out. He hasn't played all season. Hutchafino, whatever. So, yeah, everybody's good that we would expect to be playing here for this squad. So when we pull up the Lakers and we look at on court here, let's put Reaves, AD, and LeBron. And then I don't really care too much about who else is on the floor and Max Christie, we know is going to be out there. But once again, how much did that hurt that we were 24 hours early on Max Christie. That was painful. A lot of people are talking shit on Max Christie too, and I'm not going to have that. Let's see. So 16, the assists are up at 5. Now, granted, it does seem like he's just taken so much bigger of a leap. And I think I need to select. Yeah, use current roster. I already selected. He's taken so much of a leap over the course of the last bunch of games. If we change this from Toronto to Austin Reaves, yeah, it's a question. It's a legit question. I mean, at some point, I kind of think he might turn into a pumpkin. I'm not sure if that magic's going to wear off when it hits midnight. But let's do the last 4 games, right? Is that what we established? D'Lo's been gone for 4. Yeah. So if we look at the last 4 games, where did I just go? Player touches. If we go at the last 4 games and go get stats in the, I need to make this just the Lake show. So I'm looking at players, tracking data, touches, right? This is just how much more has he been involved in these last 4 games or so. So touches overall, leading the team, man, per game, right? And LeBron missed one of those, but he's now leading the team in touches. This was also talked about in the VIP chat. We now have an AI guru in the VIP chat, man. We're blessed for sure with the skills we have, with people dropping some knowledge in there, just chefing. Everybody's chefing in there. 98.8 touches. Front court, let's see. I'm good about the passing. The 12.5 RA does still feel good. And in fact, the assists by themselves, man, are they still like 7.5? Yeah, because I mean the rebounds are fucking high, dude. 4.5. We're still getting 4.5. So the rebounds and assists, 12.5. Now that's bullshit because the assists, are they 8.5 now? Oh, they're just juiced all the way motherfucking up. Crazy. What do we do with this, David? Any thoughts on this? Can you help me bounce some of this?
So I liked his RA, to be honest, when I was looking at it earlier.
Yeah. No reason. I mean, he's up. Yeah, he's averaging what is this in the last 4? Basically 20 per game in the last 4. It's a pretty big edge there over this stuff. And we're talking about a matchup with the Hawks. So I could see him scoring, but I think they're happy to put the ball in his hands, man. Yeah, I mean, 12.5 is minus 109 on Caesar still. I think we got to take it. Look, these potential assists are ridiculous. Why is this showing?
Have volume tonight, right?
Oh, it's 23-24. Thank you. Yeah, totally. 11 rebound chances, 15 potential assists, 17 and 14 with AD and homie against Cleveland. Honestly, yeah, we're hitting that at minus 109 on Caesars. Do you mind throwing that on the bottom line for me, please?
You got it.
Thank you, sir.
There's an interesting historical narrative or perspective here on a LeBron triple-double I threw there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me look at that one sec. I'm adding Reaves to the card, though. I mean, if you're still going to give me this at minus 109, awesome. Reaves over at home. Okay, minus 109. Caesar. Yeah. Get that in real quick myself. All right. Taking Reaves to get the 13 rebounds and assists. And going to go to some Bronny stuff there. Not Bronny. Sorry, I can't call him Bronny because that actually is a person on the basketball team with him. What? All right. Bronny, by the way, nice kid. I hope no one's trashing Bronny. Great dude. Seems like a really nice kid. Just what are you supposed to do? Your dad's fucking LeBron. Triple doubles plus 800 in his last 30 games versus the Hawks. He's averaged 27.5, 9.5, 9.2 rebs. That's via StatMuse. That's a great starting point. Definitely a great starting point. I think the things we'd have to look at to feel pretty good. Wait, is that 30 games? What? At first I was like, okay, so in his last 5 games, I was like, well, what we have to look at is who he's played with. What? Wait, 30 games. I'm not going to go back and look at the Cavs, Heat, Lakers lineups that he's played against his team. That's crazy. Also, what that means to me is the Hawks are a putrid franchise. That has been going on for 30 games. Good God. Let's see. 40.5 is where we're at. And you're telling me man is averaging, what was the numbers there? 39 and 9 or 27, 9 and 9 is like 36, 45. Good God. 45 per game. That's a lot. 40 is so high too. But yeah, this is going to be a fast-paced game. This is going to be a revenge narrative because they lost the last one, right? To this squad. Head to head. What are they at? Head to head. Yeah, 60. Was AD missing in that game though? No, but Reaves was. But he had 60 PRA in that game. My word. So he had 11, 10, and 39. Yeah, that adds up. What did AD do last game too? I was kind of eyeing him. My thing with AD was, and I don't know if I want to use this logic, but if we look at AD, he didn't play last night. That feels pretty on purpose against the Portland Trailblazers. You don't play him so he can be available for the Hawks, in which case you'd think he'd be deployed and use that, right? What's up? Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. We've actually been over 1,000 here for a little bit, so appreciate you jumping in. By the way, Mike, also wonderful looks. as a VIP capper in the Discord, available in the free section of the Discord too. So if y'all don't want to pay for anything, there's some really, really good looks from the people that are in there with their own channels, dropping some knowledge, dropping some really good looks, and just dropping some education too. They've got their ways that they all research stuff and look at things and their little tricks and tips. So definitely helpful to get some of that stuff in there. But AD is kind of where I'm leaning. 24.5, really low number for him. I feel like, wait, is that actually available? Because if that's actually hanging on FD, then we got to, or excuse me, DraftKings, then that's just wrong and we have to hit it. Because 26.5 is about what this line should be at. And then I don't know if we have an edge there, but hold on. I just want to make sure it's pulling through correctly on the player points. Whoa. All right, we're hitting that. I mean, that's crazy. Over 24.5, and it's 26.5 on other books. Did I miss? Because he's probable to play at this point. Is that right, David?
Nothing is updated that he's been ruled out. I just refreshed.
Well, it would be somebody else that was ruled out if he was going to get the bump in points or a drop in points, but it's more likely that DraftKings
is dropping.
What's that?
I was assuming it's dropping. I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, he's probable Friday, so nothing's come up that would change that. I mean, I got to hit that at 24.5 because that's just a mispriced line. So I'm adding that right now, if you don't mind adding that as well.
Yep.
Every other book has him at 26.5. I gotta also check FanDuel at least because they're not pulling through, and they might actually have that as well. I just want to see how that compares real quick. AD's all the way at the bottom here. Their points. Yeah, he's at 26.5. That's crazy. All right. That sucks that if you don't have DraftKings, I apologize, but I'm just playing this now at 24.5 because it has to be played. This is a 1.5 off. I haven't seen anything about a minutes restriction. I haven't seen anything about anything that would indicate that he is not going to play his normal minutes. So I don't get it. So I'm taking it. Just that simple. Sometimes it's just see number, play number, and I'm seeing the number and playing it because over time, 24.5 points. If you bet this every time that AD plays basketball, if you bet over 24.5 points this season, you're going to make money. It's just that simple. Like 24.5, 50%. Well, this, hold on, 26.5. So this is not considering all his games. We have a 58% hit rate. You see what I'm saying? Like you just bet over 24.5 points the whole season every time without even looking and just bet it. You're going to get your 58%. I would kill to have 58% of my bets correct by the end of this season, which I'm actually not far off from right now. I'm actually at about 60%. So maybe I wouldn't kill for it. I'm a little bit better than 58%. So I guess I wouldn't kill for it. A little backwards humble brag there for you guys. All right, 24.5 AD. Love that we got to add that to the card. If you're late or just joining, definitely check the scrolling line at the bottom. That's got all the plays that we've already got here from the show and for the card in general. Yeah, from the show and from last night when I put it out. That's what I'm trying to say. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. I know it's just a little bit tough these days. I know you usually go through and like say what's good to everybody. Just a little bit tough. I'm like really grateful that it's difficult to say hi to all of y'all, but I know that we've got the squad in here. We've got C Sims, we've got C Dubs, we got all the C's. Where's C Biz at? Grendel, Marv, haven't seen you in a minute. What's good, man? Yeah, we got all this the crew in here. So I appreciate you guys being in there, man. And I'm gonna keep getting these looks from David, but just so please don't feel like I'm ignoring y'all just because I can't get to all of these. But yeah, that's crazy, man. How is this 26.5 on FanDuel? Like somebody's wrong here. And I'm just gonna go with the one book that has 24.5 that I don't trust. 2 points more, 2 points lower than what Pinnacle has. I'm all over that with DK. Go ahead and give that video a like if you would. Goes a super long way. A couple quick reminders too. Going to still try to get a couple more looks in here with you guys, but definitely want to give it a like because it goes a long way. Give that subscribe button to hit if you want to not miss any of this stuff. Always coming out with videos the night before, doing my best to get the bets down, but most importantly is right now, because this is when we actually have the information that helps us make these bets. If you look at my hit rate here on the show, it's pretty awesome at this point compared to the night before, which is still doing well, but there's just so much more information, so there's more ability to make a lot of bets. If you do want to get into the VIP, where we're up about 50 units, and we definitely are crossing that tonight. I say definitely, but we're probably crossing that tonight. You can get in for a free month if you do sign up for one of the sports books that are in the description of the video. You got Underdog, BetMGM, Better, Sleeper, etc. Get into one of those. Use code LYB when you sign up. That'll get you a free month in the Discord. Just go ahead and screenshot proof to me at JL Boogie that you did that, and I'll go ahead and get you guys the free month. So I'm really reachable on Twitter and or Discord for that stuff if you're interested. But let's see, what game do I at least want to get into? Was there like a really popular look that would be worth it to get to, you think, David?
There's a lot of looks for the New York game, and we haven't really touched on Boston either.
But Brunson, we don't know if Brunson's in, we don't know if KP's in, we don't know if JB's in, right?
Let me double check, but hold on. Let's see.
If anybody has news on it, you can definitely go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say nothing yet.
Okay. Yeah. And in 7 minutes, we might know a little bit more, but yeah, like, so even Trey, and like, this could be a good look, big boy stepper, but we don't know if Trey's even playing tonight. So just something to keep in mind. 23.5 points, I'd like a lot if he's playing and Jalen Johnson is not playing. I'll say that. We should at least also bring up my MVP this year, DeAndre Hunter. He's at 18.5 points now. Why did he go down? I wonder. I mean, he's been at about 18.5 all season, but why would we think he's not capable of scoring against this team? I guess they're pretty good against the spot up, but they're not good in transition. DeAndre's scoring a ton of points in transition. He's gone over 18.5 most of the games this season, I got to imagine. Yeah, 17 of 23. Why would you think he's not going to do well in this game? Didn't he just kill them too? 26 who was missing? Anyone? No, everybody's playing in that game. Played 34 in that one too, and they won by 2 because it was a close game. I mean, I don't like that he doesn't start, but yeah, 26 against Denver. This man's scoring like damn near a point a minute, man. And all these other games were blowouts, and I don't know that this one's going to be a blowout. Although I would lean LA if they are. If anyone's going to get blown out, I think it's the Hawks. But yeah, this is just a crazy hit rate. This is just wrong to me. Minus 116 on Pinnacle. I know that's not ideal. What is this on? I mean, I don't even need to get into this stuff, but hold on. Player points for DeAndre Hunter. 18.5 minus 115. If anybody has a reason that DeAndre Hunter should not be bet on just 18.5 being the wrong number alone. I mean, now there were some games in here where guys were missing. Oh, well, Dyson Daniels is back. That could be a part of it, but I don't fucking think that matters. Let's do with Dyson Daniels. Does that matter for DeAndre Hunter points? No, he's still averaging 20.3 over in 15 of the 21 that he's played with him. Yeah, I'm not going to not bet on DeAndre Hunter at this point, to be honest. When we get this low of a number, 14 shots, 9 against the Wolves. That's a much better defense than the Lakers. 14, but that was without Trey. Let's do it this way. Let's do with Daniels, with Trey, and with Jalen Johnson. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, so it goes down a little bit when he plays all those guys, but he's still at 20 a game. He's still over an 11 of 17. These implied odds are like, yeah, I just got to hit this on principle, man. Got it. See, this is why we do this. Appreciate you, Jason Neff. That is very, very helpful information. So I don't see him on the injury report is the only thing. And I feel like if he was banged up at all, but that could be the reason. I don't know if the books are that into it. If he's not on the injury report, that they would be that like hip to that kind of stuff. So I think it's got to be a play, honestly. I'll take the licks if it's a loss, man. But if these games that he's gone under, they got waxed by like double digits, 23, 14, lost by 10 to Dallas. So, I mean, yeah, this is crazy to me. Only took 9 shots. I guess I can't predict that, but if he takes the like 13 shots that he's averaging on the season, there's no reason to think he won't be doing this. So
the only thing I can think of is LA is their defense is okay at limiting 3-pointers. So are people just thinking because I think he's done pretty well. I think last game on 3-pointers. Are they just thinking he might go?
Yeah, half his shots are threes or so. on average. I would say maybe like 40% of his shots are threes overall. So that makes sense, but I don't know that I'm going to give them that much credit as a defense. In terms of 3-point attempts allowed, they are limiting. Yeah, that's fair. They are limiting the threes. That could be a part of it. His threes are at 2.5, minus 110. He's averaging 2.8. Does he need to hit threes? Let me see real quick. Like if we take the 3-point stuff, and I forget who I was talking to yesterday, somebody in the VIP was asking about taking threes versus taking points. One thing I like to do is look at the amount of threes that he makes and filter those threes and be like, all right, if he makes less than 3 threes, how often is he going over, what are the points at? 18.5 points. With these guys, not very often. So there could be some correlation to what you're saying there, David, where DeAndre Hunter needs to hit threes to get his points, especially when he's playing with all of these guys. I can get there with that. That would be a reason. If he doesn't hit 3 threes this season with those dudes, he's averaging 15 points a game as opposed to the 20 that he's normally averaging. If we just take those guys out and still have them in sometimes, still not a very good hit rate, up to at least 17, but not where we need him to be. So it makes sense. I'll hold off on him for right now. We can abstain because this feels too low, and it's just a hit rate thing too, where it's just like he's averaging this. He's hitting a ridiculous percentage of his shots, but the averages are there. So I don't know if I can do much with it. But all right, I unfortunately have to roll just a minute or so early. So I appreciate you guys joining. We are going to be back, right? We established that. So we're going to be back tomorrow.
Yep.
What time are games tomorrow? Let's start with that and then see where we can go from there. Let me pull up the Action Network here and see what we got. So for tomorrow, we got a game. All right, cool. So we got later games. What about 4:30 p.m. Eastern, David? Does that sound good? So we can start an hour and a half before those.
Yeah, games? That works for me.
Yeah, an hour and a half. All right, so we're gonna roll tomorrow, not 5:30 p.m. Eastern, but 4:30 p.m. Eastern, especially because Saturdays are a goddamn mess, and players are often taking off, wanting to kick it with the fam, right? All that kind of stuff. So there's going to be some weirdness. We'll take a look at it. We're going to have no way. The Nuggets and Spurs are just playing again. So that's going to happen. We're going to have some teams on a back-to-back. The Knicks will be on it. The Grizz, the Hawks, a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of weirdness that we'll have to look at later in the day. So I don't know, I'm not going to have a video tonight about tomorrow's slate either, because I have to go to a fucking holiday work party. I'm being a bitch. It's free alcohol, but whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna be doing that tonight. So to be back tomorrow, and we'll be checking out the slate here at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So hope to see y'all there. One last reminder, really appreciate anybody liking the video. It goes a super long way. And if you do want to get into the VIP, go ahead and hit me up after you sign up for a book that we have here listed in the description of the video. Use code LYB and we'll get you a free month once you go ahead and screenshot it, send it my way, and we'll get there. But anyway, I'm going to jump into the VIP as well. So we'll be looking at some more plays for the rest of tonight. And until I see y'all tomorrow, happy betting.